Hello, housemates, and welcome back to Diablo 3. So, I am about to go into a level 20 rift, which, if you'll recall, is one of the season journey things for Chapter 4, and the one which will get us the last bit of the inner set that we need. You'll also see up in the corner I'm in Torment 4, so after we do that, we can go kill Zoltan Kuhl at level 4. And then I guess we can try and do a set dungeon once we get all the set pieces together. And I can't remember off the top of my head whether getting the set will put me in a position to complete this thing. So we're close to completing Chapter 4, which will also get us the portrait and the pennant. So I have, as you see, upped it up to level 4, Torment 4, and I haven't had that much of a problem. I'm Torment level 62. A couple things that I ran into that one of them I knew sort of about, but hadn't thought about since I started playing. The new treasure goblin type, the Menagerist. So what that does is it acts like a normal treasure goblin until you kill it, and you'll get one piece of unique loot. I'm guessing that it's all the time until you've gotten all of them. But what you'll get is a pet. So we have, so far that I've run into 2 of these treasure goblins, and I've gotten Haunting Hannah, who is a ghost, and Unihorn. I'm going to switch to Unihorn. So these are nice little pets that you can get from the new treasure goblin type. And then also, by accident, I picked up a piece of white gear. And what did I find but this, the Star Helm. This helmet fell from the sky as if a gift from the heavens. Now, maybe you can already see this just by looking at it. I couldn't until I put it on my person. And when you look at it, I think this is pretty clearly a marine helmet, right? You can see the little thruster things in the back. It's got the same general shape. And it's got that sort of Rainer's Raider skull face painted on the front. So I thought that was pretty nifty. I just ran across that by accident. And it made me wonder if there's like a whole set of these so you can transmog yourself to look like a jacked up demon space marine or something. That would be really cool, and I hope that is the case. And then I'll be looking out for that stuff as we go. All right, so let's see. I have 4 pieces of non-legendary gear. Innas will take care of 2 of those. 3 of those, which will leave us just to get another legendary ring, and then we'll be all set. So I've gotten this just recently, which is, it's all right. It's ancient, makes my items indestructible. Mostly it was just better than what I was wearing. Found this, which was just better than what I was wearing. I have 4 pieces of Innas now, which means I have all of the different mantra effects at once. Now, of course, you do still have to pick which mantra you want to be able to activate, because you'll only be able to you get the passive benefits. When you activate this, you get only the active benefits. You have to pick that still. You can see I've just been collecting various random garbage. I sacrilegiously destroyed the ancient crudest boots that I had so that I could put that Mystic Ally summon on, or double Mystic Ally summon on, while wearing Inna's boots as well. I still have the Tempest Rush weapon enchantment. And what I might do, my bracers right now are these, which are pretty good. I basically have 40% damage reduction all the time as long as I keep hitting with my left click. I also picked up this one. Enemies hit by your Cyclone Strike take 181% increased damage from your Mystic Ally for 5 seconds. Obviously, this has a nice synergy with the Inna set. It's even colored the same way. And so, once I get the full set, I'll see how well this works out. Because 181% damage when I have, double, I might have all of the allies. I'm not exactly sure how this works, because it says here, you gain the 5 ruined Mystic Allies at all times. and your damage is increased by 50% for each mystic ally you have out. That makes me think that just with the set on, I will have 5, right? 5 rune mystic allies. Now, what I don't know is whether the crudest boots will make it that I have 10 mystic allies. Will I have 2 of each, or will I just have 2 of the one which I actually pick as active? So I'll have 6 rather than 10. I feel like it's going to be 6 rather than 10. Otherwise, that would be sort of ludicrous. But, you know, you can have a whole ton of pets out, more than 10 if you're the witch doctor, if you have both the zombie dogs and the gargantuans and the fetishes that you can summon randomly. So maybe I will have 10. That will be interesting. And then, of course, if I do, my my damage will be increased by just a ton. It'll be ridiculous. So I'm looking forward to that, and we should be able to see all of that soon. So let's get to it. I have a Greater Rift token. Since I've been going around at Torment 4 with no problem, I don't think this little tweak up will be a difficulty at all. I don't have enough money. Oh, I do have enough money to empower this, so why not? All right, let's go. Let's do it. Come on, I need some enemies. Yeah. Yeah, die. As you can see, we deal out a ton of damage to them. No problem at all. We're getting a lot of damage bonus to them because they are slowed and frozen. I think that's where a great deal of our damage bonus comes from. And then, of course, I get a good 40% damage reduction from my bracers, and that helps me a lot with my survivability. Of course, having the 4 passive mantras on at any given time also helps out a great deal with that survivability. I get my spirit kept up by the Sweeping Wind rune that I have on, which is the penultimate rune that you get, the one which turns it into holy damage, and while you have 3 stacks or more, you get spirit regeneration bonus, or you just get spirit over time, something like that. But it's very helpful. And once I kill this first blue pack, I'll have a nice fat damage bonus from the Bane of the Powerful, which I have slotted in one of my rings. Oh yeah, be frozen in air and die, jackass. Alright, and so let's get a move on so that we can use that damage bonus. And so I really like the Tempest Rush because it lets me move through enemies and deal damage. I have the Lightning Field rune on that one so that I get a big area of damage against my enemies. So I'm mostly just trying to kill things as fast as possible. So far, so good. We are a little bit ahead of the timer. I think we will continue pulling ahead. We've got a pretty good composition. We have numerous enemies, so they're dense. The enemies that we do have aren't terribly tough, except for the Fallen Overseers in terms of hit points, and they don't do a fat ton of damage either. So this is pretty good setup we have here to get ahead in this rift. The Fallen Lunatics are a little bit of a problem, as you can see, so I just have to make sure I kill them. And this particular tile set, the Hell Rift, is not that big of a problem usually. The ones that I've had most problem, the ones that I've had most problem with recently are the open field tile sets, because there you invariably get rushed by like 3 or 4 blue packs, a combination of 3 or 4 blue packs and unique enemies with their minions, which can just get, it's difficult, no matter how well your character is built. Because there's invariably going to be a lot of CC that you're going to have to deal with, and just a lot of various damage effects. It'll be hard to see whether or not some critter's frozen enchantment is going off. Yeah. Nope, nope. Yep, yep. Oh, fuck you. The combination of Waller and Arcane Enchanted is a bit irritating, and this is already a sort of narrow space. But we're still ahead of the timer, despite that unfortunate death. This is not what I want on a timed map. Little obnoxious cul-de-sac. I'm sure more veteran players than myself will know. I mean, I don't think these maps are fully random. You do get, or at least they're random, procedurally generated in chunks. So really good players will probably recognize the chunks and know when a particular turn is going to be a dead end. I don't know the maps that well, and so these dead ends will catch up with me. And you know, if I'm working right at capacity for my character, they will sometimes cause me to be able to not finish the Greater Rift in bonus time, or within time to get the bonus. You know what I mean. You can see we're starting to lag behind the clock a little bit. We can't really afford to die again. At least, no. And I hate this fucking frozen orb following me around. Move. No. No. Ugh, there's fucking two of them. Oh, I'm fucked. Stop it. That may have been a little rubber banding there. Alright, asshole. Fucking die already. And we move slightly ahead of the timer again. I was hoping this would be a conduit pylon to help us catch up a bit. No such luck. The Fallen Hounds also have, oh fuck, go away, do also have a good bit of HP. Alright, we're still, go away. No. Why are there so many fucking lunatics? Get lost. No, no, move, idiot. We haven't had a very high concentration of unique monsters and rares, which sort of slows us down a little bit here. No shortage of enemies in general. Like some nice fat blue packs to kill. I'm not going to waste my time on a single fall. What are you? Conduit pylon. That's what I need. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, now give me more enemies to blow up. Yeah, all of you die. Yes, die. Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm not going to kill him. Oh, God. Ah! No. Oh, what the? Why did that happen? think I fucking rubber banded back into the frozen zone there. Ugh, stupid rubber banding. No. I don't know why the unique and rare shamans have so much health. Also, I think everyone hates those fucking sand wasps. Just die, I need the bonus. Need the bonus damage, get fucked. Alright, no, no. Is this a dead end? Of course it is. Where the fuck am I going? Okay, I'm going up. I'm gonna waste all of that Bane of the Powerful, unfortunately. I'm still ahead of the timer, so I'm not worried about that. Once I get in contact with the Rift boss, most of the Rift bosses at least, I can take down pretty quickly. So as long as I leave myself about a minute to spare, I don't think I should have a problem. Now, of course, I believe for the Season Journey achievement, all I need to do is complete the Rift. It is for having spent that couple million gold to empower it that I want to complete it within time to get the bonus, or else I've paid for nothing. Because, as you know, all you get from empowering it is one extra legendary gem upgrade chance. I'm not going to sit here and waste my time on you. I'm just going to go to the next level here. It's often a wise choice. This is pretty maze-like. These guys die pretty fast, so that's pretty handy. These things that cluster to you can be pretty good too, because you don't have to chase after them to kill them, which is helpful. I would like a little bit. No, I don't want fallen grunts. This could be bad. No, move, move! What am I being slowed by? Oh, I'm getting knocked back. We're going to be running very close for time. The snake things are really obnoxious because sometimes they just won't show up when they're the only enemies around. They're like the blood vultures, and so if there are not any other enemies around, they're not going to show up and they're going to waste your fucking time. This is exactly no. Arcane enchanted is not what I want here. The vortex and a waller. No! Oh, shit. Move, move, move! God damn it. Oh, fuck off! Yeah, this is gonna be bad. I'm probably not gonna be able to make it in bonus time. Very irritating. Focus on killing the lashers here. No, get the fuck out of my way. Did they not have quite enough purple orbs to get me? Alright, there we go. Alright, let's get this done. Oh, God, it's like the worst for this. Because I have to stay right up on him. which means his stupid little rat swarm is going to do a lot of pain. Give me a lot of pain. I do have the benefit of having a Bane of the Powerful buff up. These rats aren't chewing me up as much as I feared they would. They're still doing a pretty good job, but I think we have this firmly in hand. And bingo. Alright. All I got was a pain enhancer. That's fucking garbage. Fuck you.
Let's see the gem.
Alright, let's work on you. Now let's work on you. Those are the two that I have equipped, which is why I'm working on them. And with 57 seconds to spare,
I am returning to
let's head back to town. It's always really disappointing when all you get is a legendary gem from a greater rift, because you don't get any loot the whole way through, and so most legendary gems for your particular character aren't going to be that helpful. And some of them just in general are not good, even after the overhaul. Alright, so we're working on the character speed, life regen. Let's keep going with life on hit here. Alright, I don't think I got anything interesting. No. Let's just trash all the fucking garbage I did pick up. Don't even want to look at it. Oh yeah, my items are now indestructible for the time being. Dump this shit in here. And now we pick up the last part of in a set. Yay! Yeah! Okay. Alright, and this happens to be better than what I was using, which is good. This will be better once we put gems in. Whee! And this, oh yeah, okay, we got a general all-around upgrade here. Alright, so it looks like I have 2 of each. That is ridiculous. This is gonna like destroy my computer in the Act 5 city tile sets. So I have 2 of each because I have the boot effect on. Dear God, this is ridiculous. Okay, so I'm definitely going to put on these bad boys. What that does mean is that I'm going to need to change my skills around a little bit. So let's look at the general effects. So, increase the passive effect of your Mystic Ally and the base passive effect of your mantra, by 100%. Now, I gain the base effect of all 4 mantras, and I think that the base effects of all of those are increased by 100%, right? So, base effects are you and nearby allies gain increased resistance to You and nearby allies deal a percentage of your weapon damage as holy damage to attackers when blocking, dodging, or getting hit. It's basically all the time. You and nearby allies gain life regeneration. Nearby allies take increased damage. So all of those effects are increased by 100%. Now, keep in mind that if we were playing not solo, there is, of course, unity. Each ally affected by your mantras increases your damage by 5% up to a maximum of 20 and has 5% increased damage. So I think that means that doesn't count each mantra that your ally is affected by, but only each ally affected by some mantra. So you wouldn't get, obviously it doesn't matter anyway because it only stacks up to 20, but you would need 4 allies to get that stack up to 20, right? It wouldn't help to have one ally being affected by the 4 mantras that you have going all at once here. I don't think that that's the way it would work. Okay, so we have that effect. And then we have gain the 5 ruined mystic allies at all times, and your damage is increased by 50% for each mystic ally you have out. So you can see, so we have 5. I can't count these things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so I have 10 of them, 2 of each, which is grand. I assumed that means we get the passive effect of all the allies at once. Oops. What am I doing? So that means that we have Mystic Ally fights at your side that infuses your attacks to slow your enemies. A Mystic Ally fights at your side that increases your damage. A Mystic Ally fights at your side that increases your spirit regeneration. A Mystic Ally fights at your side that increases your life per second. A Mystic Ally fights at your side that increases your life. So your survivability and your damage all increased. And additionally, you're going to get a slow effect on your enemies. Now, the active ability, you have to still pick by selecting a rune. So your Mystic Ally splits into multiple allies that explode. I think that will only affect the fire ones. I think they're the only ones that will split and explode. Your Mystic Ally performs multiple freezing wave attacks in quick succession. You gain a burst of spirit. Your Mystic Ally sacrifices itself to heal you. Your Mystic Ally turns into a boulder that rolls towards nearby enemies. I think I'm going to stick with the fire one right now. And for our mantra, we have all the passive effects, so what you're choosing is the active effect. And that doesn't matter with the... Yeah, the one you have active, so damage bonus, shroud your enemies with a mystic shield that absorbs damage, increase the amount of damage dealt to attackers. You and your nearby allies gain greatly increased resistance to elements. And then, of course, the rune will affect one of your mantras, the one you pick. So there are 2 things to think about when picking your mantras, even when you have Inniset on. Which active effect you want, and then, of course, which rune effect you want. I still like the damage bonus since I don't have problems with survivability. And so amongst the Mantra of Conviction runes, increase the damage bonus. You have enemies affected deal less damage. Mantra of Conviction also slows the movement speed. I may actually change this now because I don't need the passive slow from this to make my gem effect work. Killing an enemy grants you increased movement speed. Enemies affected take holy damage. Damage over time sounds pretty good. So I'm going to go with submission. So we have, and of course, as I said, because we have 50% damage increase for each of our Mystic Allies, and we have 10 of them, that's a 500% damage increase. So we are going to be dealing serious damage. Now, of course, we can, at some point, sub out one of these items, because there are 7 items in the set, and we can sub one out and get a more beneficial effect if we find an item with a cool ability. So let's see what we have on the items themselves. Increase Mystic Ally damage by 116%. Keep that. Yep. Deadly Reach. We might enchant that away since I don't use Deadly Reach. We will enchant that away because I don't use Dashing Strike. Yeah, so the thing on the armor and the thing on the pants we might enchant away because I quite like the Fists of Thunder that I have because it teleports me to my allies. My enemies. So let's fix the gem situation here. I need to craft some gems. I don't have that much cash, so that's a limiting factor. No, not jewelry. Combine gems, emeralds. It can make a royal emerald. Huzzah. And and we will slowly build up the number of royal emeralds that we have, so that we can be all dexed up. Put one here. Let's just craft away all the garbage emeralds that we have. I know that this is the exciting stuff you wanted to see, gem forging. But I'm not going to cut it out. You're just going to have to watch it. Not all of being a Nephilim is glorious enemy killing. Look at that. Pays off. All right, so that's plus 440 dex from those 2 gems. So now we should think about, now that we have our full set on, we should think about a build. Did I ever do this? Yeah, okay. Let's put this garbage away. Okay, so our shoulder item, our amulet, both our rings are open slots. We can put something better in there to make a good build. So there's all sorts of things. Focus and restraint would be good because they're just always good, because I do alternate between the left and right click pretty frequently. I'd have to look into what shoulders would be good. An amulet, I need to go do some runs on the key wardens so I can get some infernal machines and maybe get a nice extra passive, because I always like to do that because passives are pretty powerful generally. So there's that, and then we need to think of our skills. So let's just go look through things. Fist of Thunder, I like because it teleports me. Excuse me. This, I don't like that much. This is okay, and this is okay. I think I'm going to stick with Fist of Thunder. Let's look at the runes we have. Electric Shockwave, knock back with every 3rd hit, freeze with every 3rd hit. Every 3rd hit, there's a chance to damage every enemy nearby with lightning. More spirit generated, arcs of holy power. I'm going to stick with this one at the moment because I like the freeze effect. It works on basically every enemy. Tempest Rush versus, unless you have very particular items that make Wave of Light and Lashing Tail Kick better, I think Tempest Rush is a no-brainer. And the Electric Field I like because in a larger area they take damage. I don't want to knock them back. I don't really care about that. Increased movement speed is something to think about. Reduces spirit cost and increases damage. I like the larger field of damage. Blind. So here we could make some changes. I like the dealing increased damage, but actually I think I want to change it so I get spirit back when I blind them, because we're going to be in large groups of enemies. I have not really experimented with these other abilities that much any time that I've played the monk. So yeah, I might look at those at a later point. I know that we might, one thing that we could replace is perhaps our staff, and we can get that staff that randomly has a chance to cast Inner Sanctuary on hit. That would be interesting. But for now, we're going to stick with Blinding Flash. So here is probably where we're going to make a change. So Cyclone Strike is actually in the same as Focus, but we obviously don't want to get rid of our Mystic Ally. We don't want to get rid of our Conviction, our Mantra, because these two are both focuses of the Innis set. So that leaves us with switching out, avoiding having a defensive move or avoiding having a technique move. Now, I could avoid having a defensive move. I don't necessarily need the blind, and I really do like Sweeping Wind a lot. It keeps my spirit up, and it does damage all around me. So yeah, let's try not having a defensive move and putting Cyclone Strike there. So Cyclone Strike, we're picking it because we have those bracers that when enemies are hit by Cyclone Strike, Mystic Allies do like 180% extra damage. I have 10 Mystic Allies, so you know they're going to do a shit ton of work with that. At least I think that's the way it's going to work. So we can reduce the cost and make it lightning damage. We can increase the distance at which enemies will be pulled towards us, which could be very helpful. Blast the enemies with a fire that deals increased damage. Enemies that are pulled in are frozen and heals you and your allies. I don't want the healing. I'm thinking between either the frozen one, because it pulls them in and they're frozen, and you know, frozen is just a really good status to put on enemies, or increase the distance. Let's go for now with this one. So these are the skills we're going to use. Now let's look at our passives. Increase maximum spirit and spirit generation. Dealing damage to enemies above 75% increases your attack speed. Deal 20% more damage to enemies that are blind, frozen, and stunned. So the frozen ability that I have with the Cyclone Strike will really help that out. I did have blind before with this, so right now the only status that I will be putting on enemies to make use of this is frozen, which is why I should have the frozen rune on my punch, my left click, and the frozen rune on Cyclone Strike. That might be a good reason to put the frozen rune on my Mystic Ally as well. You pick the water ally for its active ability. Finally, we have Mystic Rhythm. Every third hit from a spirit generator increases the damage of your next damaging spirit spender by 40%. That works with my Tempest Rush, which doesn't really need the damage boost, so we could make a change here. We could do Momentum, increase my damage by 20% for 6 seconds after moving 25 yards, which goes together very well with Tempest Rush because it's a moving attack. Unity isn't helping us because we're playing solo. I haven't really needed this at the moment. Combination Strike, we're only using one Spirit Spender. We're not switching, so meh. Harmony, single element resist from items is increased to all elements. That's something you have to sort of build your items around really carefully to get a lot of use out of, so we're not going to do that. Increase the attack speed of spirit generators by 15%. That just makes my left click really fast, which might be good. Reduce all cooldowns by 20. I have very few cooldowns. The cooldown on the active for your mantra is very short, and the active of Mystic Ally, it's not long enough that I really want to waste a passive on it. This is always a good one. We can get up to 20% extra damage for enemies within 12 yards. You're almost always in groups of enemies. The one time this isn't going to help you very much is obviously against Rift bosses. This is good, but we don't need the survivability. We are using a staff, so we'd a two-handed weapon. We'd get spirit generation increased. Mantra. You gain 4 spirit every second when you have a mantra learn. So this would increase our spirit by a lot. This would increase our survivability. We could just make ourselves move faster. I think that's what I want to do. Oops. Fuck. Is that the one I wanted to get rid of? No, this is... crap. I don't remember what I had in the first place. Oh, is this one? Let's actually go with Chant of Resonance, because that fits with the mantra thing we've got going here. All right. I'm not going to do any transmogrification at the moment, even though I don't really like the way that In is set. It looks on especially him. So I'll change that. I'll futz around with that off screen. Let's see. Let's go, before we end this episode, let's go test our stuff out on killing Zoltan Cool. We are at Torment 4. Let's go jack him up. Where are you? You're here, and then here. Oh, we'll get a bounty chest out of it as well. So we should be doing obscene amounts of damage right now. 500% damage increase because of all these damn Mystic Allies. We also make a lot of noise whenever we spawn in. This is ridiculous. That was retarded. Wow. So I'm definitely gonna have to bump up the difficulty because that was just ludicrously easy. We deleted Zoltan Cool from existence there. So hopefully you enjoyed that comical interaction. Oh wait. I'm pretty sure I saw the ice attack. So it looks like the various Mystic allies do their own active. So you do have all the actives and all the passives at once, which is just really awesome. So I already like this. I do like pet builds. So this is the best set they could have given the monk for free, in my opinion. So I really enjoy it. I think I'm going to be using this for a long time. I'm going to try and just perfect this build, just like I did with Geralt and the Thorns build last time. I didn't switch it around, even though I picked up every goddamn Crusader set item. I'm going to fixate on Innas and try and make this work as best we can. We already got a great start, I think. So I'm looking forward to doing more. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you have, then please hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more, then of course, please subscribe to my channel. We'll be back soon with more from Dandelion. If you're not going to do any of those things, then you're not invited to my Mystic Ally party.